They fought for our freedom, and many veterans return from war with serious injuries requiring frequent medical care. Sometimes that means traveling hundreds of miles to get to places like VA hospitals. Toll roads are often the fastest, most direct routes. Here in the Austin area, we have several options, but those options had some disabled veterans asking KXAN for help. They're confused about a program meant to give them access to tollways for free. When charges started showing up in the mail, they realized it's not so simple.
Because KXAN investigator Lindsey Bramson discovered not every tolling authority participates. Lindsey?
It might not be working out quite like lawmakers intended when they created the program back in 2009. The idea, if you're a vet with a disabled veteran Purple Heart or Medal of Honor license plate, you get free tolls. Statewide, that's nearly 217,000 vets. Here in Travis, Williamson, and Hayes counties, it's a little more than 13,000. But for some of those soldiers, like Marcus Burleson, this program seemed too good to be true. His story starts on the other side of the world.
It was December 9th, 2011. We were on a dismounted patrol just outside of Sangin, Afghanistan, in the northern Helmand province.
It was a moment that changed Marcus Burleson's life forever.
And me and my team member noticed something suspicious in an alleyway that we were going to have to go through on our way out. While I was in the middle of my procedures, it detonated with me kneeling over it.
2.5 weeks after the bomb went off, this Marine woke up in a hospital back home and didn't leave for more than 2 years.
I broke my neck, broke 9 bones in my face, completely shattered the left side of my eye socket. I am completely blind in my left eye.
Now a double amputee with one prosthetic hand. Burleson says he drives 100 miles south from the Austin area to the medical center in San Antonio at least once a month for treatment.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit more difficult for me to get around than it is for some.
That's the reason state lawmakers created the Veterans Discount Program. If you're a vet making that same trek and want to bypass the traffic and delays of I-35, tollways might be the better option. But it's confusing because each tollway is owned and operated differently. Take this route, 183A, managed by the Central Texas Regional Mobility Authority, to the TxDOT managed, state-funded SH-45 North and the upper section of SH-130 down to the privately run section of 130. The TxDOT stretch is free for veterans, but the other toll roads still charge them because right now the law says it's optional.
Why don't you give veterans free access to your toll roads?
We've thought about it, we've worked on it, we've developed the numbers, and we're having a hard time making all that work right now.
CTRMA Executive Director Mike Helligenstein says waiving fees for vets would mean his tollways would lose around $900,000 a year.
As the executive director, you could make that decision to give vets free access to the toll roads. Why not do it?
It's a matter of cost right now. I think it's cost, and I think it's also where do we stop it.
A handful of proposals at the Capitol this session, including one from Central Texas Representative Jason Isaac, would require all toll authorities to give vets free access.
We need to be clear on that for our veterans, and I think the easiest way to do that is to just make all the toll roads free for our disabled veterans.
Isaac's bill would also allow the legislature to appropriate funds to help toll entities bear those costs. But time is short. The session is winding down, and the bill has been awaiting a hearing before the House Defense and Veterans Affairs Committee since February.
Can I magically produce money and appropriate that to people for this purpose? The answer is I cannot. However, going forward, there's a possibility this can be brought to the legislature.
KXAN shared vets' concerns with committee chairwoman Susan King. While it might be too late this session, she promised to study the issue ahead of the next.
Yes, I do have a lot more ability to steer and look at and bring this to light, and so certainly that will be my intent to do that.
A promise Burleson says shows the respect disabled vets deserve and need.
I think it would be a great thing. I think it would be a great show of faith toward the veterans that have served the country.
Both CTRMA and the SH-130 concession company tell us if there was funding from the state, they would implement the program. You can be sure we'll follow up on lawmakers' progress. Shannon?
All right, Lindsay, thank you very much. And no joke, this plan is expensive for toll authorities. TxDOT asked state lawmakers for more than $5 million over the next 2 years to help offset losses. Keep in mind, the VA can reimburse disabled vets for tolls if they apply.
The story also made us wonder what other freebies or discounts can disabled veterans get. We found everything from free driver's licenses to waived fees for concealed handgun licenses to free admission to Texas state parks. There are a lot more, and we have them at our website, kxan.com. Just search for this story in the homepage. And remember, this story started as concerns from our viewers. If you have something you want us to investigate, email us at report@kxan.com.